What are some other things other than diet, I guess, and getting appropriate movement that pets need in their life? We talked about the love part, so I guess they need some love. But is there anything else that comes to mind?
Well, lifestyle's a big heading, so it includes exercise. Walking with your dog is very good, whether it's on a leash or not. But I think something that some people believe that animals can read your mind, which they can't really, but they can learn a lot from your behavior and your movements and from your facial expressions. They're very sensitive. Dogs are bright. They're really bright. Some brighter than others, but they're not dumb animals by any stretch of the imagination. They're incredibly adaptive, incredibly opportunistic, and they're there. They understand language. I read some study. I can't forget how many words dogs actually know. Maybe not intellectually like Webster's dictionary, but they know what they mean. I think that the first thing that you should do with your animal, if it's possible, and maybe a much older rescue animal, this may not be as possible, but it may already have had that done, is what they call training, obedience training. Really, what it is, a lot of people think of it as kind of oppressive. You're making them do what you want them to do, but it's not. What you're really doing is you're establishing a language of communication between you and the animal. And in the big picture, it really is for the animal's safety. I mean, this has nothing to do with supplements, nothing to do with, but it really is crucial because you're also like, what if your animal wants to go run across the street, chase a cat, and you've trained it so it listens to you. When you say stop, it stops. But what if you haven't trained it, crosses the street, gets hit by a car? So lack of training can be hazardous to the health. It can cause diseases as much as other things can. So I think that's a really important thing, and it's something that should be done from the very first day of acquisition of a new animal in your household. I think that's very important. We kind of do it with babies, sort of. I wouldn't really call it training, but we develop language and we tell them, no, you don't put your hand on the hot stove and those sorts of things. The same sort of stuff. And that people sometimes think dogs know that intuitively, and they just don't. That I think is probably one of the more important things. Diet, of course, is huge. But I think that's very important because it also establishes that bond. They start listening to you. And dogs want to listen. They want to learn. They want to be obedient, so to speak, because that's kind of their pack mentality. You're the pack leader, when you adopt that dog into your household. I think that, I mean, what you said, exercise, diet, of course, I guess we could have them do yoga with us, downward facing doggy or goat yoga or all those funny things that are going on these days. I think those are important. Taking, exercise, obedient, training. I think obedience has a little bit of a harsh sound to it. Training and food, some things that are consistent. And under the food umbrella, we would put supplements for wellness, things like mushrooms, things like herbs that are beneficial for immune system function or antiviral or whatever we might be looking at.